Just when you thought you could turn your back and walk away, the dark cloud of human indignity follows you. You have no choice but to turn and look it in the eye. It's the sex offender hit list.
This is a strange story. I don't know if they have dates wrong. Maybe right by the looks of this guy, but this is in Ohio. A North Fairfield man was arrested by the U.S. State's Marshal's Office on Thursday on multiple charges of child sex crimes. This is 24-year-old Keegan Chasar Baker. He was apprehended and booked into the Huron County Jail on Thursday following a search warrant. I don't know where the search warrant ties in, but a Huron County grand jury indicted him on 4 counts of gross sexual imposition, as well as 3 counts of rape. The alleged crimes occurred more than 10 years ago that would put him at 13 or 14 years old back in 2013. The indictment states Baker allegedly engaged in sexual conduct with a minor who was younger than 10 years old at the time of the incident. I mean, can they charge him as an adult? I'm not getting this. But he has a court hearing scheduled for 1 p.m. March 18th in Huron County Common Pleas Court. And as of late Friday, he remains locked up in the Huron County Jail on a $100,000 bond. Huh. Kids can be chomos too. A Green Bay man could be facing over 80 years in prison for several felony charges relating to the repeated sexual assault of a young child. This chomo is 20-year-old Haziel Santos of Green Bay, and he was arrested on February 29th. The victim, who was just 5 years old when the assaults happened, had talked with a child forensic interviewer at a child advocacy center following a written letter she wrote about how she was raped. Imagine that, 5-year-old having to write something like that. That's just crazy. According to the criminal complaint, the assaults by Santos started back in 2018 when he was a neighbor of the victim's family. The victim remembered it happened in multiple rooms in her family's house. In an interview with the police, Santos admitted the assaults, and he said they happened about 10 times over 2 years, probably double that. Santos also admitted that he would let the victim use his phone to watch YouTube videos after the sexual assaults. Both Santos and the victim detailed the same type of sex acts when talking about the assaults, so there was no penetrative intercourse though. It doesn't matter. He's still a chomo. Santos also admitted to showing the victim pornography. Why would you show a 5-year-old that kind of stuff? During the interview with police, Santos admitted that he felt what he was doing was wrong after the first assault, but suppressed those feelings and didn't feel anything after that. He also admitted to sexually assaulting his own cousin multiple times around roughly the same period. Haziel Santos has been charged with 1 count of felony B, repeated acts of sexual assault of a child, 1 count of felony D, child enticement, and 1 count of felony 1, exposing a child to harmful material. If he's convicted of these crimes, he faces 88.5 years in prison and fines up to $110,000. Santos appeared in the Brown County Court March 1st, where his cash bond was set at $100,000. He's due back in court for his adjourned initial appearance on May 1st. Kentucky. Today, the Kentucky State Police arrested a Hart County man on a charge of possession of child sexual abuse material. It's kind of hard to see behind that thick glass they got him behind. But this chomo here is 44-year-old Anwar Barbour. He had sexually explicit material of children on his phone while he was living in Taylor County. The Kentucky State Police Electronic Crimes Branch then seized his phone and completed a forensic examination. On Friday, detectives interviewed him and then arrested this chomo, Mr. Barbour. He's charged with 2 counts of possessing matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor under the age of 12. He remains in the Taylor County Detention Center with no bond, the way we love it, while the investigation continues. Now down in South Carolina, a man wanted by the Lexington Police Department for sexual crimes involving a child was arrested on February 21st, according to the U.S. Marshal Service. This is Taz Michael Johnson, a 27-year-old. He was arrested at a room he was renting in the Winsboro Motor Inn Motel. Johnson was wanted by the LPD for sexual exploitation of a minor, criminal solicitation of a child, and 2 counts of unlawful dissemination of obscene material to a child, according to the police. The Marshal Service said Johnson was a prior sexual offender, having been arrested and prosecuted in 2019 for sexual misconduct with a minor then, and disseminating obscene material to a child then. Why is this man out of prison? I don't get it. Investigators with the U.S. Marshal Carolina's Regional Fugitive Task Force, along with the LPD and the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, discovered Johnson had fled the Lexington area to hide in Winsboro. He was taken to the Fairfield County Detention Center after his arrest, and then moved to Lexington County. Jail records indicate his bond has been denied. Oklahoma. An Ardmore couple was charged with several sex crimes in Carter County. Court records state that Joshua Quigley, a 32-year-old, and Kyla Quigley, a 32-year-old, have been sexually abusing a minor family member since the child was 7 years old. Disgusting. According to court records, the couple recorded that abuse and distributed it on the internet, on Discord. Joshua Quigley was charged with exploiting the child, several counts of lewd acts and distributing obscene material, making child sexual abuse material, and child neglect. Kayla, his disgusting, scuzzy wife, was charged with child neglect, exploitation, and several counts of lewd acts. See ya, chomos. An Austin and Rochester area sex offender appears in Homestead County Court Friday, March 1st, on several counts of theft. Yeah, thieving chomo. This is Chad Bruce Sanabish, currently serving a 9-year prison sentence for sexually abusing a child. Faces a charge of theft by check from August through September of 23, a charge of theft by shoplifting from September of 23, and 2 charges of theft again, shoplifting, in October of 23. Sanabish, formerly of Austin, Minnesota, Decorah, Iowa, and Rochester, Minnesota, was originally sentenced to probation after pleading guilty to sexually abusing a child from 2010 to 2015, and then fleeing his first scheduled sentencing. However, after violating the terms of that probation, he was rearrested and resentenced. He is currently being held at the Minnesota Correctional Facility in St. Cloud. See ya, chomo. A homeless sex offender that looks like Nick Nolte was arrested under the Interstate 75 overpass in Sumter County. This is 56-year-old Bruce Wayne Guy Jr. He was found in the middle of the roadway about noon Thursday near Bushnell, according to an arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Guy, who was convicted of a second-degree rape back in '89 in Alabama, and also convicted of indecent exposure in 2005 in South Carolina, told a deputy he was bound for Texas after vacating his residence in Hillsborough County. The deputy verified the guy, who has previously been convicted of registration violations, failed to properly register his notice to leave Hillsborough County. Hey, good reason to arrest the chomo, right? He was found to be in possession of a vaping device with THC oil. He was arrested on the drug charges as well as multiple charges of failed to register as a sex offender, and he was booked without bond, good, at the Sumter County Detention Center. See ya, homeless Nick Nolte-looking chomo. A sex offender suspected of posing as a minor to meet underage girls for sex is in custody. Investigators believe there may be additional victims. Deputies took a lewd acts report against Rancho Cucamonga resident Joaquin Cazares and learned he was a registered sex offender who was already in custody on an unrelated charge in Los Angeles County. Cazares was posing as a juvenile male on a social media app and meeting minors for the intent of engaging in sexual activity. A warrant was issued against Cazares once detectives substantiated the lewd acts allegations, and based on the information collected, detectives believe there was a possibility of many more additional victims over a 2-month period. They identified multiple other victims already, the sheriff's department stated. Investigators also released Cazares' photograph and his Instagram username to help any unidentified victims come forward. Back in December, agents with the Southeastern Ohio Human Trafficking Task Force and sheriff's deputies received information in reference to this chomo, Joshua W. Offenberger, a 40-year-old, allegedly downloading or uploading 4 videos of child sexual abuse material. A search warrant was executed on Wednesday at Offenberger's 200 Sparling Road residence, where agents met with Offenberger, who initially denied downloading and reproducing the child sexual abuse material, but he eventually confessed to doing so. A cursory search of Offenberger's devices revealed dozens of images and videos of child sexual abuse material, and child erotica was also found during the search, showing many sexual acts. Offenberger was arrested on a charge of second-degree felony pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor. He appeared in Marietta Municipal Court on Thursday and is being held on a $15,000 plus personal recognizance bond, which means he doesn't have to put any money up to get out of jail. Stupid! Kentucky. London police have arrested a man accused of sexual abuse of a child. The London Police Department reports 53-year-old Michael Ball was found on Monday evening and taken into custody. Police say Ball of Keavy, Kentucky, was wanted for sexual abuse of a child under 12 years of age. He is also reportedly a persistent felony offender. The London Police Department reports that Michael Ball was found and taken into custody is all it's telling us. But you can be sure that when we find out more information, you'll hear it here first on the Sex Offender Hit List. See ya, Chomo!
When a child experiences trauma, they can be stripped of their ability to imagine. But imagination is colors. All the colors. Imagination is freedom, and whatever you want it to be. But a child without imagination is not a child at all. Will you help defend our right to imagine?